They got J.R.R. Tolkien with the Rings of Power. They are now coming for C.S. Lewis. The latest news is that Barbie director Greta Gerwig has been tapped to write and direct 2 films for Netflix based on C.S. Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia. This report comes from the New Yorker's Alex Bersach, who reports following an interview with the director that Gerwig has a deal with Netflix to write and direct at least 2 films based on C.S. Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia. It also comes amid Gerwig's agent Jeremy Barber telling the outlet, Greta and I have been very consciously constructing a career. Her ambition is to be not the biggest woman director, but a big studio director. And Barbie was a piece of IP that was resonant to her. I would guess that The Chronicles of Narnia is one as well. If you aren't familiar with kind of the trajectory of The Chronicles of Narnia, I'm here to recap it for you. Back in 2019, Netflix did announce that they would be developing multiple projects based on Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia series. Their press release said Netflix will develop new series and film projects based on C.S. Lewis's beloved The Chronicles of Narnia series under the terms of a multi-year deal between Netflix and the C.S. Lewis Company. Netflix will develop classic stories from across the Narnia universe into series and films for its members worldwide. At the time, Netflix's chief content officer Ted Sarandos said, C.S. Lewis's beloved Chronicles of Narnia stories have resonated with generations of readers around the world. Families have fallen in love with characters like Aslan and the entire world of Narnia, and we're thrilled to be their home for years to come. C.S. Lewis's stepson, Douglas Gresham, also said, it is wonderful to know that folks from all over are looking forward to seeing more of Narnia and that the advances in production and distribution technology have made it possible for us to make Narnian adventures come to life all over the world. Netflix seems to be the very best medium with which to achieve this aim, and I'm looking forward to working with them towards this goal. In June 2019, we had a report from Variety that Coco writer Matthew Aldrich, I'm not sure how you say his name, was hired to oversee its live-action adaptations of C.S. Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia book series as films and TV shows. We did see 3 live-action films in the early aughts from 2005 to 2010. The first one, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, grossed $720.5 million. Prince Caspian, the second film, grossed $417.3, and then in 2008, and then the third one, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, grossed $418.1 million in 2010. Gerwig is an interesting choice. She seems to be basically hiding massive feminist messaging within the Barbie film, and as she's been promoting the Barbie movie, she's also made some just kind of bizarre comparisons between the movie and Christianity. I don't really know what to make of it because she hasn't really actually made any comments about it. It's just very kind of one-off remarks where the reporters don't actually include everything, and it's just like, oh, she's talking about the Sistine Chapel and how Adam and God are touching, but in this movie it's the Barbie creator and Barbie. And most recently, she told the New Yorker that when Gerwig originally pitched the film, she did it with a poem in the style of the Apostles' Creed. So I really don't know what's going on here. To me, it very seems like it's making a mockery of Christianity, and they're doing it with Barbie. So like here in Vogue in May, she said Barbie was invented first, Ken was invented after Barbie to burnish Barbie's position in our eyes and in the world. That kind of creation myth is the opposite of the creation myth in Genesis. Again, it's like, what is she actually trying to convey here? Why is she making these points? It's unclear. But we do know that this Barbie film is supposed to be, is going to have feminist messaging. We had Kate McKinnon say the film is about how gender roles deny people half their humanity. It has a man pretending to be a woman in the cast. They also have a pro-abortionist playing the Supreme Court Justice Barbie. The man pretending to be a woman is playing the Dr. Barbie. So there's clearly lots of very wild, crazy, disgusting messaging in this film, and to have Gerwig kind of try and do C.S. Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia just seems like an absolutely bizarre choice if you actually wanted a legitimate adaptation. But if it's Hollywood and they want to destroy it like they did Tolkien and The Rings of Power, Gerwig sounds like the right one. And just kind of get an idea of how C.S. Lewis came to the idea of The Chronicles of Narnia. He said this in Sometimes Fairy Stories may say best what's to be said on stories and other essays on literature. He said, why did one find it so hard to feel as one was told one ought to feel about God or about the sufferings of Christ? I thought the chief reason was that one was told one ought to. An obligation to feel can freeze feelings, and reverence in self did harm. The whole subject was associated with lowered voices, almost as if it were something medical. But supposing that by casting all these things into an imaginary world, stripping them of their stained glass and Sunday school associations, one could make them for the first time appear in their real potency. Could one not thus steal past those watchful dragons? I thought one could. So he was specifically saying that he could steal past a certain inhibition which had paralyzed much of my own religion in childhood. So he's specifically trying to evangelize through the Chronicles of Narnia, the Christian faith. So Gerwig seems to be a very good choice if you are a Hollywood executive and you want to continue to malign Christians. Seems like an absolutely terrible choice for someone you would want to actually faithfully adapt C.S. Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia.